Hi, it's Rosa Collado with Keller Williams, and I'm here with Ryan Walsh. Ryan is an attorney actually here in Queens, and I work with him. We actually did a closing 2 weeks ago. So really wanted to bring him here just to really tell everyone what is he doing and how is he doing the closing for buyers and sellers during this pandemic. Are you using any type of disclosures or protection for both the buyer and the seller in case, they get sick with this COVID-19, in case they lose their job, anything that's going to protect them from not losing the deposit?
Well, I mean, it's kind of funny. NYC came out with a COVID-19 rider for the contracts of sale, right? And I know they did like some kind of disclosure for realtors, but the COVID-19 rider for the contracts, I've seen it twice.
Wow.
Really what it says is that after the closing date, if we can't close, say after, 20 days from the closing date, it's due to the pandemic, either party could cancel, right? Like I said, only seen it twice, right? And we've been open since the pandemic. We never closed the office, right? What I always had for my buyers was a funding paragraph, right? That said that in the event the lender doesn't give you the funds, and it wasn't due to your bad faith, you didn't go out and buy a Ferrari between now and closing, right? Then you get your deposit back. And that's really helped our clients because they have been furloughed. They have lost their job. I have a client, two of the brothers lost their job at Department of Education. So they got declined. So they received their commitment, the property appraised, and then they were declined because they lost their job. Not due to their bad faith, right? Just due to COVID-19. So under that funding paragraph, they get their deposit back.
Great.
Yeah. On seller side, it's not a win because they have to they're going to have to relist their property, and there's really no protection for the seller, right?
Right.
In this scenario, but for the buyers, if they didn't do anything wrong, should they lose their full deposit? Right.
I was going to say, are you doing anything to protect the seller? Let's say that, something happens to the seller, he gets sick or anything like that, that wouldn't affect him from losing, not losing some sort of money or someone saying, okay, you didn't want to sell the house to me. Now I'm going to put a lien on your property to sell it to me. Is there anything that you're doing to protect the seller as well in case of a pandemic?
Could you do that? I mean, I haven't, to be honest, I haven't seen that happen. So I haven't seen a seller say, I got sick, so I want to break the contract. I did see yesterday where the seller said, I'm not going to move forward. I'm not going to sign the contract because of COVID-19. I decided I'm just going to stay where I am. But I haven't seen a seller during the process say, you know what? It's COVID-19. I like where I am. I'm just going to stay here. And I want to break the contract. And right now there is no paragraph, like a COVID-19 paragraph for sellers.
Right.
You have a paragraph hypothetically that says that if the seller incurs any tax liability, cancel the transaction.
Oh, that's interesting. That's really good.
So they could cancel the transaction on day one because they're going to have a tax liability, right? They're going to have to pay for tax. They're going to have to pay the capital gains. They're going to have to pay X, Y, Z. So if the buyer's attorney doesn't see that or doesn't understand it, then I have an out for them already.
Right. And you're basically going to protect them, which is great. So you're basically able to get protected, either the buyer or the seller. Now, are you seeing right now more people buying? What are you seeing? Are you getting more contracts? I'm crazy busy right now.
Well, thank you. Congratulations. We all appreciate it. You're busy. I think we've seen an uptick on purchase contracts. Certain developments are doing well, like Habitat for Humanity. Their co-ops in the Bronx are selling like hotcakes right now. So a lot of deals in the Bronx. But we are seeing, we're not seeing as many as before COVID, right? It's still COVID-19. In the 5 boroughs, you still can't, do a listing in person. You can't do a showing in person. So it has put a damper on us. But for the most part, we've tried to continue to move the ball since COVID, but it's still at a slower pace.